Hey there, we are on day 310 of our Through the Bible in 1 Year, and today we are doing just one chapter, Mark 10, or Mark 13. And it's very similar to the Matthew 24 and John, which we read yesterday. So let's begin. This shouldn't take too long. We're all kind of busy today, right? Okay, destruction of the temple predicted. As he was going out of the temple complex, one of his disciples said to him, "Teacher, look, what massive stones, what impressive buildings." Jesus said to him, "Do you see these great buildings? Not one stone will be left on another that will not be thrown down." He was right, Signs of the end of the age. While he was sitting on the Mount of Olives across from the temple complex, Peter, James, John, and Andrew asked him privately, "Tell us, when will these things happen, and what will be the sign when all these things are about to take place?" And we'll see how Mark tells it. Then Jesus began telling them. Remember, Mark wrote it, but it was quoted by Peter. Peter kind of told him. Mark was the ghostwriter. Jesus began by telling them, "Watch out that no one deceives you. Many will come in my name, saying, 'I am he,' and they will deceive many." They're doing that now. 95% of the churches are doing this very thing. When you hear of wars and rumors of wars, don't be alarmed. These things must take place, but the end is not yet. For nation will rise up against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. There will be earthquakes in various places and famines. These are the beginning of birth pains. Right? But you be on your guard. They will hand you over to the Sanhedrins. You will be flogged in the synagogue. You will stand before governors and kings because of me as a witness to them. And the good news must first be proclaimed to all nations. Right? So when they arrest you and hand you over, don't worry beforehand what you will say. On the contrary, whatever is given to you in that hour, say it. For it isn't you speaking, but the Holy Spirit. Then brother will betray brother to death, and a father his child. Children rise up against parents and put them to death. Wow. And you will be hated by everyone because of my name. But the one who endures to the end will be delivered. Right? Okay, the Great Tribulation. When you see the abomination that causes desolation, that's in Deuteronomy. Right? We read that here in the beginning of the year. Standing where it should not, let the reader understand. Then those in Judea must flee to the mountains. The temple will be rebuilt, and the Antichrist will stand in the temple, proclaiming to be God. Right? That is the abomination that causes desolation. Right? Those in Judea must flee to the mountains. A man on the housetop must not come down or go in to get anything out of his house, and a man in the field must not go back to get his clothes. Woe to pregnant women and nursing mothers in those days. Pray it won't happen in winter, for those will be the days of tribulation, the kind that hasn't been seen from the beginning of the world which God created until now, and will never be again. Right? The times are about to get as bad as they will ever be. Right? And you got to imagine it was so bad once that God destroyed the entire world except for one family, and it's going to be worse than that. Okay, Sodom and Gomorrah. Right? Unless the Lord limited those days, no one would survive. But he limited those days because of the elect whom he chose. Literally, the days all flesh would not survive. Right? He will limit the days, otherwise nobody will survive. Right? Then if anyone tells you, "Look, here is a Messiah," look there, don't believe it. For false messiahs and false prophets will rise up and will perform signs and wonders to lead people astray. If possible, even the elect. And you must watch. I have told you everything in advance. Okay? Lots of those out there today. Lots of false prophets, making videos on social media. God told me this, God told me that. Right? False messiahs and false prophets. And they're going to be so good at it that they will perform signs and wonders to lead astray, if possible, even the elect. Okay? That's Christians. Okay? But in those days, after that tribulation, the sun will be darkened and the moon will not shed its light. The stars will be falling from the sky and the celestial powers will be shaken after that tribulation. Then they will see the Son of Man coming in the clouds with great power and glory. He will send out the angels and gather his elect from the four winds, from the end of the earth to the end of the sky. Parable of the fig tree. Learn this parable from the fig tree. As soon as its branch comes tender and sprouts leaves, you know that summer is near. In the same way, when you see these things happening now, that he is near at the door, I assure you, this generation will certainly not pass away until all these things take place. Heaven and earth will pass away, but my words will never pass away. Got that? No. When you see all these things, that's all these things that Perry was talking about. And they're all happening now. I mean, all this stuff he's talking about is happening right now. Now concerning that day or hour, no one knows, neither the angels in heaven nor the Son, except the Father. Watch, be alert, for you don't know when the time is coming. It is like a man on a journey who left his house, gave authority to his slaves, gave each one his work, and commanded the doorkeeper to be alert. Therefore be alert, since you don't know when the master of the house is coming, whether in the evening or at midnight, or at the crowing of the rooster, or early in the morning. Otherwise he might come suddenly and find you sleeping. And what I say to you, I say to everyone, be alert. Be alert. The other book said, look up. So, there you go. That's today's reading. That was short and sweet. Just one chapter. Same as the other ones we read. It'll probably be Matthew 24 tomorrow, I imagine. Yep. And this is the one most people look to, okay? But it was good that we had. I never put all of them together before, so that's cool. And I may do that again, because that was cool. So, there you have it. That was day 310, okay? We're getting on. 55 days left, and then we'll be finished. And we'll have to find another study to do, right? Catch up on any you may have missed. The New Testament started on September the 30th, so... And before that was all Old Testament. Okay, we're doing the whole Bible in a year. And we're going to finish it. So give us a like if you think about it. But till tomorrow, we'll continue. See you then.